not only the win, but a convincing win.
Definitely, and a quick match.
Yeah.
So it's funny, so Anastasia here obviously just going to do an interview with both Tyler and Skylar.
Chasing you successfully. Do you feel the pressure?
Что, ребят, наша команда вас догоняет. Как вы чувствуете? Чувствуете давление?
It's just the first match, race to 5.
Это всего лишь один матч, игра до 5 побед. Мы просто будем играть свою игру и посмотрим, что получится.
What about you?
No pressure. We just want to come out here and try to play our best. That's all we can do.
Нет, никакого давления не испытываем. Просто будем показывать свою лучшую игру. Это все, что мы можем сделать.
Настоящие профессионалы. Thank you, guys. Так, поприветствуем. Команда России. Максим Дуданец и Сергей Лutsker.
And here they're welcoming in Maxim and Serge.
Ребят, ну сейчас очень ответственный момент, важная действительно часть сражения. Вы говорили, что всегда будете играть очень дерзко и интуитивно. Вы измените как-то свой стиль из-за счета непростого?
Okay, guys, it's very important, even decisive moment. In your interviews, you've always been telling that you're going to play fearsome and adventuresome. Are you going to stick to this plan today?
Нет, будем также стараться играть быстро, дерзко, молодежно.
Yes, we're going to play our game, we're going to play fearless, and we're going to do our best.
Я согласен с Максимом. Тоже будем играть, как играли в прошлые дни. Просто чуть-чуть лучше.
Yep, that's right. We're going to play as we played in the previous days. We're just going to try to show our best game.
Ну что ж, самые смелые ребята именно в нашей команде. Спасибо, желаю вам удачи.
And there we are, we've got both teams in the arena. And funny enough, it's good to see Anastasia out there. So I've been sharing a ride with her every day coming into, obviously, the club. She picks me up from the hotel. And we have a good 45-minute journey together. And she has the best music playlist that you could ever have. She just goes from, like, Queen to Ed Sheeran, and then to, like, Pink, back to Queen. And I'm literally just sitting there singing away. She's just laughing, and she's a lovely company.
You know what? I almost got blind looking at her dress tonight.
It's a fantastic dress. I'd love to be able to pull off a dress like that.
So she puts you in good spirits before the show gets started here
yeah,
each day.
That's exactly what we do. We come over and I'm singing away. And,
well, she's always been pleasant, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Known her since last year, and she's a sweet lady and was a great player in her own right.
I think someone just threw
a strike,
threw a bowling ball.
You have like 10 bowling ping ball, yeah. 10 ping bowling.
Now for Team Russia, you might say, you know, two fine players, but with Serge and Maxim, but you might say they're at the bottom of the list between the 5 for Russia. So we'll see what they can do after a big win by Ruslan.
You think maybe the most inexperienced partner?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like I said, Konstantin's been around for a long time. Ruslan and Federer kind of speak for themselves. Even though Federer's very young, he has a lot more world-class experience, I guess, and results behind it.
And so Skylar.
So a dry break
here.
Dry
break, right.
Yeah, but I don't think he can see the 1 at all, and if it is, it's just a sliver. Now, if he can see it, he may be able to come off the left side of the 1 and put him behind the 3. But it looks like Maxim was kind of looking at a rollout situation. Oh, he's looking to make the 1. So does that tell me he can get at it? Okay. I thought he was looking for a push-out situation, but I thought the 7 had him. Okay, so a miss, and we'll see Tyler Styer, our reigning Kremlin Cup champion, and a guy that really got us on the board last year at the Mosconi Cup with a big win over Niels Van.
And that was a great win, and he just beat him at the International
the International,
Open.
that's right. The International, that's right. So.
And so I think there was a lot of talk in the air about him beating him again.
And you know what? Niels is the most favorite player for Tyler.
Oh, yeah, well, Niels is a great player. I mean, a guy that has represented Holland and Europe in the Mosconi Cup so well. Now the one ball here, you have a tendency to try and hit it thick to hold speed, so he's got to get the combination of both, and that may be too hard. Oh no, it's okay. So very good shot to start. And Sky Woodward, one of his best kind of shots, just kind of center ball stun, one rail out for the 3. And a guy, as soon as he arrived, started hitting balls today, and I've roomed with Skyler this last couple weeks, and very motivated, a very motivated man, and he never stopped hitting balls the entire day, except for maybe to get a little something to eat. But
I like the pairing of Tyler and Skylar. I just think that both of them have that sort of similar confidence around the table, sort of walking around, and it's an interesting pairing, definitely.
Well, I think they complement each other pretty well. They're both guys that can recover from situations pretty well. And the one thing that I really like is, thinking of November, that's got to slow down a little bit, but I think it's going to be okay. If Tyler was to go on and make the team, that it's a combination that could be looked at. I like Skyler really kind of displaying that confidence. Skyler, the names kind of can get you in this combo.
I second you there.
But his confidence can really kind of rub off, and it's a quiet confidence with Skyler,
Exactly.
but it's a very pure one, in my opinion.
I felt that as well at the Whirlpool Masters this year. It was he reached obviously quite far in the tournament, and like we say, it's a quiet level of confidence that you get from him.
And the funny thing is, the players around the world might recognize it a bit more than he does at times. I know he knows he's talented and a straight shooter, but all the players around the world definitely recognize it, and recognize that he still has a little bit of. He's going to get even better.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, in America, we played a lot of 7-foot tournaments, to make money and stuff, and it's kind of changing a little, and that's a great thing. And Skyler really dominated America in the 7-footers for some time, and he had to make a living, and a lot of people really kind of labeled him as a 7-foot player.
Okay.
And
it's been hard for him to transfer over.
Well, they were just wrong. They didn't recognize the talent.
I have even heard that recently 7-foot pool kind of erases the 9.
To come again?
The 9-foot pool on the U.S. scene, becoming much more popular, and maybe the room owners are replacing those big tables with the smaller ones.
Well, yeah, and it's a business a lot of times for room owners, so you can just look at it. You can fit 10 7-footers where you can only fit 6 9-footers, and there's a lot of league play in America. So a lot of the amateurs, just like golf, they don't play the back tees. Mm-hmm. They go up a few tees to make the game a little easier, and consequently they do the same in pool a bit. So
that's 1-0 to Team USA in the second match of the evening, and the overall score at the moment is 7-6 to Team USA. They did just lose that first match.
Yeah, and a huge rack for USA to open there after losing that first point. You want to keep the heat on Team Russia. Yep. There's already some heat there. So in this young pairing, we'll see how they respond. One thing about, I've actually spent a little more time while I've been in Russia, not only this year and last year, but last year also with Serge than I have Maxim. Just he comes in, we talk. Mm-hmm. We played a couple matches together in the Kremlin. We played one.
And actually, you would have played this year, hadn't you lost?
Yeah, I know, and I actually wanted that. But anyways, he's a guy that kind of goes with the flow, and I kind of like that. I don't feel like he's going to feel the heat as much, or recognize the heat. Maybe that's a better way to say it.
He's enjoying it, actually.
Oh, absolutely. I think it was you and I, and we talked about it yesterday. He came in and told us how he'd watched the matches, and he was translating to his parents, and he was just, even though I know that it wasn't all positive things we said, that's not our job to sugarcoat it.
Yeah,
exactly.
At 21, he's already a very seasoned player, playing all the Euro Tours and getting all those big wins.
No, I enjoyed watching him play. I think he's an impressive player, and like you said, at the table he has this he has this sense of, sort of personality about him, and I think he could be a really interesting player, definitely for some of our events.
And he's going to get better too as a player. I don't think he's going to lose that personality ever. I don't see that happening.
And that's why events like this Dream Challenge, for instance, are so important in the pool calendar, because, you know, it really just does open your eyes to other players that are out there. And certainly for me, you know, it's really opened my eyes to see, you know, the other players, and especially when you're looking at the World Cup of Pool and the pairings.
Okay, and very calm Team Russia as far as, okay, watch out for the cue ball as well. Oh my, so a big roll there after a big miss. And, you know, if he had made it and the cue ball ended up there, Russia was in a very bad situation. So a bit of fortune.
Don't you think Team USA are also jaw hooked?
Oh yes, there definitely are. That's what I meant. If Russia had made the 4 and the cue ball ended up in the same, they wouldn't be able to see the 5. Now I think USA should successfully hit this ball going 2 rails. And you have a lot of good things that can happen because that 7, 9, and 5 that are near.
Do you like going 3 rails? Like,
2 rails, 2 rails. Short rail, long rail, medium speed, like that. You got a lot of good things that can happen because of the congestion of the other balls there. And it's an easy one to judge. You just see the parallelogram.
Yeah, I mean, like with a 3-rail route, this cue ball becomes like more of a targeted missile, you know.
Yeah, but with the slide, I think it's very hard to calculate. And the 3-railer is something you learn, and it may be something you learn to give you a good premise on kicking at the ball, but it's actually a 9-ball pool. It's not something you use a ton. So maybe the first time we're going to see the jump cue?
Yes.
There you go.
I get so excited when the jump cue comes out. I just think, you know, it's just great to show the talent of these players when you have shots like this.
Okay, now this is one to where I don't think he'll play the cut. He may, but very hard if he plays the cut to not only dodge the scratch in either pocket, depending on where he shoots it at, but also gain position. Not sure which way I would play this. This is kind of on the fence.
Or get lucky with the 4 wall.
Oh.
Wow, how does that not go? Or very unlucky, so.
Yeah, all the luck so far in this red goes for Team Russia.
That's okay. Team USA can come back from not having much luck. It gives them some good practice.
Yeah, this is where you see that, you know, you got to overcome these type of things because you expect them to still get opportunities. A tricky little shot here, though, Michael, because this 4 is so deep. You don't want to shoot the 5 from where the 4's at over the pocket, but you have to come out with the cue ball somehow. So I think playing for a little blind luck with the cue ball there.
Well, I'm not so sure about that one. I've seen, and of course you, Jeremy, have seen them also, like those diamond tables with very deep shelves.
Oh yeah, he overcut that.
Oh wow.
Blimey, he had a bit of a mare there, didn't he?
Yeah, and you know, and that's a bit of knowledge there as far as how the slick table plays. I like the way he played it 1 rail. I think it was a more simple way to play it, but you have to realize the conditions are slick, the ball's cut easy, and if you drive it a little bit into the bottom rail, it's probably going to go. The only way to really miss that ball for these professionals is on the high side.
Overcut it.
Exactly. All right, is Skywood banking this long rail? I think so. Watch out for a nice shot here. Oh, he double kissed it. Okay, he's going to need a lot of luck to escape this game. So the guys
I feel like they're rushing it slightly here.
That's what I was about to say. A bit amped up, maybe.
The heart rate didn't tell.
No,
that so
didn't.
Far.
No. Okay, there's that side spin. If you use heavy side spin, it can really stall the cue ball. He's okay, though. He just got up enough to where the cut is doable. And where do they go, you know, for Team Russia as far as you're talking about the experience between the 2 players? And like, are they going to give each other any information or lead each other? Which one's going to do that? And it's an important thing, believe it or not. I want to say probably Maxim has a little bit more tournament experience, I would think.
And would you say that's probably similar in Skylar and Tyler's pairing as well, that maybe experience would come more from Skylar?
Well, yes, it would. It would for sure. And we talked about it in our group meeting today that actually it was me that I said I was very impressed that we're not too directive.
Okay.
But when it's needed or when you recognize something that maybe your partner isn't recognizing, don't be afraid to speak up. Yeah.
Sure.
Could you elaborate on this a little bit, how long maybe these meetings last?
Well, we just have one every
30
day.
seconds.
Yeah, our coach always has something to go home and write about, and he's very forethought on it and thinks about it, and then he says his words and what he's feeling and what he saw the night before, and then I add a little bit to it, and
then everyone just kind of gets on with it, and it's nice.
Exactly, yeah. And again, we always ask the guys, is there anything y'all want to bring up? It's a team. Okay. We'll see what the break is here for Tyler. Okay, nice, perfect speed. An awful kiss on the cue ball, but it didn't find the pocket, and he's going to get a nice starter. Now, one that Skylar's not only going to have to wait till the two stop spinning before he shoots it, but he's going to have to put some stroke on this to draw the cue ball a couple rails around for the three in the same pocket. The key to this is don't feel like you have to blast it. If you smooth stroke this, you can get enough on it to get by the 7 and back around, I believe, especially with the stroke Skylar has, or Tyler if he had to shoot this shot.
Yeah, shooting this shot hard turns into a kind of stand shot more, and you can easily end up hitting the rail
or hitting the 7
before the 7.
Yeah. And this is where Skylar might have said, hey, Skylar with his technique recognizes, hey, a smooth stroke will get it done. And he knows Skylar can pull it off. Oh, he went across. Wow, that was purposely though. That was definitely not a miss it.
That was a big gamble taken on that side pocket scratch.
Well, that's what you got to do in sports sometimes, Michael. It's not always cherries, So just like throwing into double coverage in American football, if you're a great player, you take chances.
I like it when players take chances and
absolutely.
risks.
Okay, that one's going to hit a little bit wide, but get down. Now he's going to lose the cue ball, probably an extra foot, but still should be okay. This is where, there you go. Even though he knows where he's going, that little going over there and look is settling Skylar, and that's a huge thing. Much smoother there.
The team Russia's heart rate.
Oh, wow.
That's the lowest I've seen. It was since Ruslan on the first day, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, the power of youth, I guess. Even though we have a couple youngsters at the table right now. He's going to draw to the side rail. And he should draw off of this. A lot of people would say, let me just chip this in and follow the rail, but then again, the cue ball can stall on you. So better off to take control was, okay. Camera work made me think he cut it a little too much.
Yourself then. Just
I was
having a
worried
little
about
conversation.
getting behind the 9 with the cue ball, I thought maybe was a possibility. Okay, so a soft roll on the 8.
Okay, so Team USA looking to go 2-1 up here in the second match of the final day of the ABN Billiards Dream Challenge. At the moment, the overall score is 7-6 to Team USA, so they are leading, and it is first to 10 points. Secretly, I'd love for them to win in the next 3. I say secretly, I'm being very honest and open about it.
Well, you gotta be pulling for who you're pulling for. That's just how it goes.
I'm pulling for Team Europe. Sorry. Oh gosh.
Well,
that confession just makes you being a very poor man undercover. Or, excuse me, woman undercover.
I mean Team USA right now.
Right.
I remain unbiased when it comes to the Moscone Cup, obviously. I just like to see a good event.
Well, if you were pulling for Europe, no one could blame you. Just don't tell me about it, that's all.
Trust me, I'm a lot more American than I am British now. I love the American food. I just want to go over there so I can get pancakes in the morning.
There you go,
burgers.
a little Mexican food.
America does everything better than Britain.
Well, I asked you yesterday, I think it was yesterday, so you're English. So what English food do you like? Because I haven't found any
know.
yet.
Sorry
you
to
said
say
a
that,
burger, and I was
yeah.
like, well, is burger an English food? Or?
Sorry to say that, but the general belief is there is no English cuisine or like a kind of English
come
food.
on, there's bangers and mash.
Yeah.
You never heard of sausages and mash?
I eat
And gravy?
Italian. I eat Italian when I'm in
So I was
England, or
going
cook
out-
myself one or two.
Chips and
I
gravy.
was just going to say that Scholar improved his stats yesterday. Just right now, it stands like 5 matches won and only 1 lost.
Okay, so his cue ball got 2 kisses, but he's going to get a nice shot on the 1 with the 2 up top hanging. So we'll see if Maxim can recover off that missed 5 ball earlier. Even though it didn't cost him the game, I'm sure he still kind of remembers it. So this is the type of shot that you would normally hit with low right English on a normal table, but you have to minimize the right or you could catch this ball thick trying to draw it up the rail. Okay, and he did nice there. So a big shot here on a heavy 2 ball with the 3 all the way on the other end.
Yeah, he has a bit straight in, I believe.
Yeah, but that's all. I mean, Maxim couldn't do much from where he was. If he tried to put a lot on it, I think it was danger.
Do you think, Jeremy, he can go with extreme high right? Just go in 2 rails?
Yeah, but if the ball's so close, right? If you try to do that, well, then the ball will kind of like hydraulic on you. Watch out for the scratch. It's going to go long for him, so it's going to work out, but very much flirting.
And once again, this is just another roll for Team Russia.
Well, yeah, it wasn't so exact with the shot, but he had to he had to take a little bit of a chance because, like you said, he was kind of straight, right, Michael? So anytime you have to cheat the pocket to try and promote cue ball movement, well, you sometimes aren't going to be so exact. Okay, a little thin here. So this is where if he feels like he has to use side spin to come back, that being left English to come back, easy to hit this ball thick. Interesting shot here because the left English is still needed at a slow speed. Yeah, and I like him taking a little time here.
The overhead camera also tells me he could bank it cross corner with a draw shot.
Yeah. But you know, them guys like to cut the balls, and that's just because the table you play on, most of them, they cut very, and that's where the left English won't grab at certain speeds. And it takes some time to get used to these kind of conditions, and I'm not talking about just this week, I'm talking about for some guys years.
Yeah, of course, and it's definitely something that I've been thinking about the last couple of days just being here, and you just really sort of learn a level of respect for these players because the type of conditions they have to come into and adapt so quickly and in such high sort of levels as well against their opponents, and it's just really impressive. I mean, I saw Tyler in the gym this morning as well, and you know, he was doing sort of some running intervals. I actually nearly fell off of the squat machine thing because it was a foreign machine and it totally freaked me out, but you know, you see them getting up and going for a workout and they're all at breakfast together, and I just think it's super impressive as to how they adapt and change to different conditions, and they have to do it so quickly as well.
Yeah, and there are a lot more athletes these days. I mean, I think it's a sport for sure because that swinging motion, just like throwing a ball, is involved, but they work out a lot more, they stay healthier.
Yep.
You don't see near as many smokers in the game and stuff like that, so definitely all that adds up, especially with, like you said, all the travel that's involved.
And it must
all
be
the pressure,
tiring, yeah.
and all the pressure.
You know, they're not home and they have to stay in hotels, and it's uncomfortable. Even I find when I travel, you know, you do get homesick and you do get tired, you get jet lagged, and it is tough. And, you know, absolute fair play to them because they're competing in these world-class events.
Looks like you don't agree with the saying like that the home is where you are right now.
No, well, I quite like travelling.
Just bring a little piece with you.
Yes, yeah.
All the way.
You just pack everything in your suitcase and you just basically treat it.
Maybe a teddy bear or like.
Sure. But you know, it is tough, and the players. You know, it's easy to throw in the towel, and that's why we've seen in our sport some very great talents at a young age not continue playing it. Pressure's involved, a lot of travel, and it's just difficult.
And so that's 3-1 to Team USA in this second match of the evening, which is the final day of the Dream Challenge.
Okay, Sky Woodward back to break the balls for the second time in this match. He had a dry break in the opening game. Hit him very well, like he's been doing all week. Oh, watch the cue ball. Ooh, a very fortunate kiss, because that was
rescued by the two.
Yeah, he was definitely going to scratch in that position.
And right now, I believe that the table is pretty much open for Team USA.
Sorry about that, guys. I think you lost us there for a second.
And a nice combination on the 2 and 3 and laid the 2 up. This is the kind of shot you want to pull it back slowly. You don't want it to have a lot of speed, and the main reason is you want to make sure it grips and you don't threaten this side pocket here. But
meanwhile, Sky Woodward with a new record of 147 for the heart rate.
Okay, he went ahead and played above the side, and I think that's a very smart play. A little more guaranteed there. And actually gives you a nice angle, since he got off the rail, to fall for the 5. And there's a little more angle there than the camera appears, so I think you're going to see Tyler let out that nice stroke drawn to the side rail, trying to cheat the angle a little bit. No, he's going forward. Okay. And he's going to fall a little straight.
That was a much more comfortable shot to shoot. I mean, going 2 rails.
Right, right. No, I agree with it. I agree with it totally. And there's that fine line to where you get enough angle to where you go forward with it, or you get it a little less and you draw the ball. Oh, he's got enough to punch up, you know, kind of a stun up near the 6.
I feel like I'm learning so much pool lingo sitting next to you, Jeremy.
Oh, the lingo? Yeah, but there's some guys, like, well, you know, from way back that are incredible at the lingo. I can just sit around and listen to them all day. It's pretty timeless, the pool lingo is. Okay, a nice stroke there by Tyler Styer.
And so Team USA looking to go 4-1 here. Skylar makes the 9 ball. And then they take it. And so sort of 2 quick matches here so far in the 3rd day of the Dream Challenge. And what a great setup we have here in the Bazaar Club in Moscow. And really enjoying my time here. It's you've been treated so lovely here, and the food's great, and everyone's so welcoming. And I'm really loving, like, the production and the setup, and it just looks fantastic. And it's just great to see other events on the calendar that are at this kind of level as well. And I just think it's so great for our sport.
Yeah, and the people in the city, the hotel, everybody's been nice. Not only everyone involved here with the pool scene, but I'm so happy for Alan there. Because since I've gotten here, when he and I have contacted each other for the last few months, you know, I'm expecting a baby, da-da-da.
I didn't know. It was only Anastasia that told me this morning in the car that he was obviously at the hospital early this morning, and I can't believe he's here. Fair play to his wife.
Right. Well, she's still in the hospital, so she'll be there a few days. But, you know, he told me that, hey, our due date is during the Dream Challenge. You know, what's going to happen, da-da-da. And so it all worked out nice, and he's got a beautiful baby boy. Okay, Maxim here to break off, and it looks like a dry break.
Nothing down so far.
And a nice starter for the Americans to get this point back that they lost in the opening match. They've got a bit of work from the 4 to the 5. That's some work there for sure. But if they can get through these first 4 or 5 balls, you can see what the 6, 7, 8, and 9 pretty near each other.
It's really interesting to see Skylar's heart rate actually probably beating Max Eberle's yesterday, and a great addition to this tournament provided by Garmin. Definitely opening my eyes to introducing it to sort of our matchroom events as well.
Yeah, and he's...
he must be feeling it out there, Skylar, if he's, you know, pumped up like that.
Yeah, of course he's feeling it. But, you know, we've talked a lot in the room, and he's very motivated. You know, like I said, it's, I guess, rooming with him my first time. You know, I've been around him a ton, obviously, when, you know, we somewhat roomed together last year in the apartments and whatnot. But when you get somebody off that's a good friend and they tell you a few more personal things, you might say, and then, you know, he's, like I said, it's a quiet confidence, but but he's a confident man that wants to really challenge probably for the best player in the world one day.
Yeah, and I think he definitely has that in him. And
oh yeah,
just talking about that, he's always that kind of player that I would expect to be really cool around the table and not have a high heart rate, just because he shows that, and that's how he sort of displays himself around the table as such. So I'm actually quite surprised by him having that high heart rate, because he disguises it so well.
Yeah, exactly. You would never think that at all. And okay, a nice draw stroke there, and I think if he gets just a little bit of angle where he can come in between the 8 and 9 and back out for the 6 in the same hole, we're going to get that 2-point lead again for Team USA.
I will make a wild guess. We're going to see Styer later during our singles matches. So interesting to see how he performs there in terms of heart rate.
Well, I think it's a smart move getting him out there for the singles matches. He's such a strong player, especially in this kind of format as well. He's got that experience.
Of course, he is an MVP of the last Mosconi Cup, so just he is the one to probably seal the deal for Team USA.
And a rare miss there, and on that type of shot, he had to cut it a bit. And again, the ball's cut easy out here. I think they were fortunate enough to not give up an offensive shot, but you'll see him bang the 6 around for a 3-rail safety. Now, he wants the ball to get closer to the rail, that being the 6, just because it gives you more reference when you're kicking, when the ball's a little closer.
Course,
yeah.
On the contrary, when you're playing safe, you always are looking to leave that object ball in the open.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So it was a prime opportunity off of a dry break, and they ran the first 5 nice.
Well, talking about Styer, I put some kind of a commentator jinx on him.
Oh, no.
Just a little.
Okay, this is the type I like to kick 2 rails slowly, because if you hit it full, you can knock the 6 up on the side rail, and you keep a lot better accuracy than going hard. And you can still gonna hit it hard enough to where you may make it in the corner. So with the 8-9 being there, I like mild.
Oh.
It's difficult to pull the trigger at the mild one because you feel like you want to create some luck. But you also have to recognize, if he had hit that ball, he could have obviously made it up in the upper left, but you're really not opening up the door to luck it in another pocket. I mean, the speed's just not there to do so.
And I hope he doesn't get frustrated with himself, Tyler, because he's such a fantastic player. I mean, he's just won the Kremlin Cup as well.
Oh, yeah.
His first major event ever.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
It was great to be able to watch that with you, Jeremy, and to obviously commentate on it. It was he's really impressed me in that final against such a great player like David Al-Kaidi, who has experience in finals like that.
Yeah, and the sweep.
Well, he's a champion.
Oh yeah, definitely a champion, and a guy who's come a long way himself in his career. Oh, watch out! Is he going to get above this? All right, it's going to sneak into position. You can see that's when you get so close to it, position comes late. But the one good thing for Tyler too, I think, that was huge is he played his best match in the finals, I think. So to handle that pressure against such a great player like David Al-Kaidi, that's going to really take him a long ways, I believe.
And it was a lot of pressure for David Al-Kaidi. He was he's in contention for that Mosconi Cup Team Europe, you know, Whirlpool Masters champion, and to reach the final of the Kremlin Cup, you know, you had Marcus Shamat tuning in and watching. Yeah. So a lot of pressure resting on his shoulders there, but obviously Tyler took it down and he played super well.
So some breath of fresh air for Team Russia, trailing 2x to 4.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of times when you have the time, you know, it's hard to get the first game, hard to get the last game. That's the saying we have in the U.S. at least, and I'm sure they have many similar over here. But Sometimes when you miss that opportunity, some of the luck can go against you. So the guy's got to stay positive.
We could see some girl in the audience holding the banner in with some Cyrillic letters, and it reads like, "I would have gone with you to the end of the world, but it is Dudanets playing today."
Meaning I got better things to do being here at the Baza, I guess, yeah.
That's right.
Okay. Very successful break last time for Tyler. A lot of movement on the 9. The 2 balls down, though, and they're going to get another nice starter on the 1, I believe. It may be a bank, but Sky Woodward can usually handle those. Now, I'm wondering, can he bank the 1 and hit the top of the 9 and kiss the 9 in off the 8? Michael.
Well, we have seen one early winner already.
Yeah.
So maybe here he is just another.
And this is where you just play 2 rails out, drawing the ball with low left English, banking it in, and realizing that you're going to have to play the 4 up long, but that's not really a... Oh, he can cut it. If he's hitting high ball, that means he can cut it in. Okay, and got the cue ball exactly where he wanted. Now, Tyler either draw over or stun to the top rail and play the 4 up long with the 5 so handy. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, once again, like Jeremy Jones is telling you guys, just keep an eye on those opportunities to play the ball long.
Oh, yeah. And even, you know, we promote it on the slick table for sure. But even on regular outer tables, you know, where you might say the shots are a little more difficult, to become a better player, you really have to have confidence playing the rack correctly. It doesn't matter if you fear the shot a little bit, you're going to learn to not fear it. So after missing the last game, a big shot for Sky Woodward and Team USA, probably the shot of the rack. And that's probably as much as anything where you talk about Sky is after he makes a mistake or 2, he can really get back into form quickly. He's a man that kind of leaves it behind. So a little draw stroke just past where his hand's at now, and I don't see this being anything but another point for Team USA. Now here's where Sky may not punch the cue ball to the rail. This is where you kind of have the choice, and sometimes he'll want to move it with the flatter ball with a little more speed. But you see, it's weird how the table is. It's very fast bed, but if you're hitting the stun stroke, it really doesn't move that much. Just the revolutions on the cue ball, there's not much there.
Okay. Yeah, of course, it looks weird at times. There's a nice and easy draw shot for the 9, and to win this crucial point for Team USA.
Yeah, you want to keep that 2-point lead going into the singles. Because you know that most likely, you would think anyway, that Russia's going to come out firing in the singles.
And so there we have it, 5-2 to Team USA, which brings them to an overall score of 8-6 in the ABN Billiards Dream Challenge. And what an exciting night we have ahead of us. Just 2 points away from the win, Team USA. And as Jeremy just mentioned there, we expect Russia to come out very strong in these singles matches, so stay tuned.